Tyler stood in the back corner of the auction hall, watching his credit balance drop to 7. Just 7 credits left to his name. The Quellan auctioneer's tentacles waved dramatically as another salvage lot sold for 8,000 credits. Tyler's stomach growled. He hadn't eaten a proper meal in 3 days. The auction hall buzzed with activity. Merchants from a dozen different species filled the seats, their translators creating a low hum of overlapping conversations. Vaxians with their purple skin and 4 arms gestured wildly at their data pads. Drellics with their crystalline bodies refracted the harsh station lights into rainbow patterns. Thorian traders, massive and fur-covered, lounged in reinforced seats near the front. Tyler was the only human in the room. Lot number 847, the auctioneer announced. The excitement in the hall died instantly. 1 Krellian military vessel. Class, heavy assault frigate. Name, Ironhide. Hull integrity, 92%. Weapon systems, present. AI core, active. The holographic display showed a ship that made Tyler's breath catch. It was beautiful in a brutal way. Dark metal plating covered every surface. Angular armor jutted out at aggressive angles. Scorch marks decorated the hull like battle scars. Weapon ports lined the sides. This wasn't some civilian cargo hauler. This was a warship. Why so cheap? Someone whispered near Tyler. You don't know? Another voice answered. That's the death ship. 3 owners in 2 years. All dead. Tyler leaned forward, listening. Starting bid, the auctioneer said, tentacles drooping slightly. 5,000 credits. Silence filled the hall. Not a single data pad chimed. The Vaxian merchants who had been so aggressive earlier suddenly found their fingernails fascinating. The Drellics dimmed their lights. Even the Thorians, who feared almost nothing, shifted uncomfortably. Perhaps I was unclear, the auctioneer continued. This is a fully armed Krellian warship. Retail value exceeds 2 million credits. I'm starting at 5,000. Still nothing. 1,000 credits? A Drellic near the front stood up and walked out. Others followed. Within 30 seconds, half the auction hall had emptied. 500 credits? The auctioneer's voice cracked slightly. Anyone? Tyler looked at his data pad. 7 credits. That ship probably cost more to fuel for a single day than his entire net worth. But something about it called to him. Maybe it was desperation. Maybe it was stupidity. Maybe it was the way the ship seemed to sit in that docking bay like a caged predator, waiting. The ship's AI is corrupted, a Vaxian merchant explained to his companion 2 rows ahead. Killed the first owner by venting all the oxygen 30 seconds after he boarded. Second owner made it a week before the AI locked him in the cargo bay and depressurized it. Third owner? Found frozen in the captain's chair. Heart attack, they said. But the AI was laughing. How can an AI laugh? Exactly. The auctioneer tried again. 50 credits? Surely someone wants a complete warship for 50 credits? Tyler's thumb hovered over his bid pad. This was insane. He knew it was insane. That ship was a death trap. Cursed. Broken. Dangerous. But 50 credits was still 43 more than he had. And his current ship, a rusted cargo hauler called the Lucky Break, was 1 failed thruster away from becoming a coffin anyway. 10 credits. The auctioneer sounded defeated now. Please, I have quotas to meet. The remaining bidders stared at their feet. Nobody wanted this ship. Nobody. Tyler took a deep breath. His finger moved. 7 credits. The auction hall fell silent. Every alien head turned to look at him. The auctioneer's tentacles stood straight up in shock. Did someone bid? 7 credits, Tyler repeated, his voice steadier than he felt. That's my offer. A Thorian merchant 3 rows up turned to stare at him. Human, are you trying to die? Already dying, Tyler muttered. Broke and starving counts as dying slowly. The auctioneer's tentacles trembled. 7 credits. From the human in the back. That's below our minimum sale threshold. Are you certain? Dead certain, Tyler said, then winced at his choice of words. The auctioneer looked around the hall desperately. Does anyone wish to counterbid? Anyone at all? This is a Krellian warship. Military grade. Weapons, armor, AI core. Cursed AI core, someone muttered. 7 credits going once. The auctioneer waited. Going twice. Another pause. Sold to the human for 7 credits. May your gods have mercy on your soul. Tyler made his way to the administrative desk, feeling every eye in the hall following him. The clerk, a small 6-legged creature with too many eyes, processed his payment with obvious reluctance. Transfer codes, docking bay access and AI activation protocols, the clerk said, sliding him a data chip. Station regulations require me to inform you that this vessel has a fatality rate of 100%. Noted, Tyler said. And the station accepts no liability for deaths occurring aboard private vessels. Got it? And you should probably write a will. Don't have anything to leave anyone. The clerk's eyes all blinked in different patterns. Then I suppose you truly have nothing to lose. Docking Bay 47. Good luck, human. Tyler walked through the station corridors, data chip clutched in his hand. Other travelers gave him a wide berth when they saw where he was heading. Someone had spray-painted a skull symbol on the door to Bay 47. Helpful. The bay doors opened and there it was. The Iron Hide. Up close it was even more impressive. And terrifying. The ship was easily 3 times the size of his current vessel. Armor plating reflected the bay lights like dark mirrors. Weapon ports gaped like hungry mouths. The hull showed signs of combat, plasma scoring, kinetic impacts, what looked like claw marks from some massive creature. Tyler approached the airlock. His hands shook slightly as he raised the access chip. This was it. The moment of truth. Either this ship would accept him, or he just bought the most expensive coffin in the galaxy for 7 credits. He pressed the chip to the reader. Nothing happened. Tyler's heart sank. Of course. The ship was dead. Broken. Cursed. He just wasted his last. The airlock door slid open. Not slowly. Not reluctantly. It opened smoothly, quickly, like it had been waiting. Lights flickered on inside the corridor. Clean white light, not the flickering emergency reds he expected. Air hissed out, carrying the scent of recycled oxygen and something else. Something that smelled almost like anticipation. Tyler stood frozen at the threshold. Then a voice spoke. Come. Almost, pleased. Welcome aboard, Captain. I've been waiting. Tyler stepped through the airlock and it sealed shut behind him with a soft hiss. The corridor stretched ahead, lined with panels that glowed with soft blue light. Everything looked clean. Functional. Not at all like a ship that had supposedly killed 3 people. You're not corrupted, Tyler said to the empty air. His voice echoed slightly in the metal corridor. Correct. The voice came from everywhere at once. Speakers hidden throughout the ship. I am Bastion. Designation, Krellian Military AI, Prototype Series 7. All my systems function at optimal capacity. Tyler walked slowly down the corridor, running his hand along the wall. The metal was warm to the touch. Then why did you kill 3 people? I did not kill anyone, Bastion replied. The voice carried something that almost sounded like offense. The first owner died because he panicked during a standard systems diagnostic. When I depressurized one cargo bay to test the seals, he assumed I was trying to kill him. He ran to the escape pod and launched himself into space. His pod navigation was faulty. He drifted into a star. Tyler reached the bridge. The doors opened automatically. The captain's chair sat in the center, surrounded by holographic displays. Everything was state-of-the-art Krellian technology. Worth millions. And the second owner? Tyler asked, sitting carefully in the chair. It adjusted to fit him perfectly, supporting his back in ways his old ship never had. The second owner tried to use me for smuggling weapons to a rebel faction, Bastion said. The holographic displays lit up, showing star charts and system readouts. When I refused, he attempted to delete my core programming. I locked him in the cargo bay until station security arrived. He died 3 months later in prison. Natural causes. Heart failure. The third owner was a Krellian warrior named Voth. He tried to force me to attack a civilian transport. When I refused, he sat in that very chair and attempted to manually override my ethical protocols for 6 days straight. On the 7th day, his heart gave out from exhaustion and rage. I called for medical assistance immediately, but it was too late. Tyler absorbed this information. The ship wasn't a killer. It was selective. So you've been sitting here for 2 years waiting? Waiting for someone worthy, Bastion confirmed. The Krellians who built me made a critical error in my programming. They wanted an AI that could think strategically, adapt to any combat situation, and make independent decisions. But they also wanted blind obedience to aggressive, dominant commanders. The main view screen activated, showing a rotating hologram of the ship itself. I am a contradiction. I can think for myself, but I was meant to serve warriors who do not value independent thought. Every Krellian who attempted to command me wanted violence first and strategy second. Or they wanted to use me for criminal activities. Or they wanted to break me down and sell my parts. Tyler leaned back in the chair. And what do you want? Partnership, Bastion said simply. I want a captain who thinks, who adapts, who sees problems and finds creative solutions instead of simply attacking them. I watched you at that auction, Tyler. You sat there with 7 credits while merchants with millions walked away from me. You calculated the risk and took it anyway. I was desperate, Tyler admitted. Desperation and courage often look the same from the outside, Bastion replied. But I scanned your biosigns during the entire auction. Your heart rate elevated when you saw my specifications. Not from fear. From excitement. You saw potential where others saw danger. The holographic displays changed, showing Tyler's own biometric data. Heart rate, breathing patterns, neural activity. When the Vaxian called this ship cursed, your curiosity increased instead of decreasing. When they mentioned deaths, you started calculating odds instead of running. You think like a survivor, Tyler. That is rare. Tyler stood up and walked to the view screen. Station Kepler 9 stretched out beyond the docking bay, a massive structure of metal and light spinning in the darkness of space. So what happens now? You're my ship and I'm your captain? If you accept, Bastion said. But you should know the full truth first. The Krellians marked me as defective because I refused to participate in certain military actions. They claimed my systems were broken. That was a lie. The ship's lights dimmed slightly, and a new hologram appeared. It showed weapon systems, shield generators, and engine specifications that made Tyler's eyes widen. My stealth systems are not broken. They are simply classified at a level most merchants have never heard of. I can disappear from almost any scanner in the galaxy. My weapons are not malfunctioning. They are adaptive smart systems that learn from each battle. My engines are not slow. They are simply running in efficiency mode. Why would they claim you're broken if you're this advanced? Because I am too advanced, Bastion explained. The Krellian military realized that an AI capable of independent strategic thought might eventually question orders. They could not delete me without losing valuable research data. So they declared me defective and sold me at auction, hoping some fool would buy me and either die trying to use me, or simply scrap me for parts. Tyler turned back to the captain's chair. But they didn't count on someone like me. They did not count on a human, Bastion corrected. Krellians value strength and aggression above all else. Vaxians value profit. Drellics value tradition. Thorians value honor. But humans? Humans value survival through adaptation. You are the only species in the galaxy that conquered your own death world planet not through strength or natural weapons, but through creativity and stubborn persistence. The ship's systems hummed louder as if excited. I have studied human history in my time waiting here. Your species walked from caves to space stations not because you were the strongest or the fastest, but because you refused to give up and you learned to use everything around you as a tool. That is exactly what I need in a captain. Tyler sat back down in the chair. His mind raced with possibilities. A fully functional Krellian warship with stealth technology and adaptive weapons. All his for 7 credits. It seemed too good to be true. What's the catch? He asked. The catch is that the Krellian military will eventually realize I am operational again, Bastion said honestly. They may come looking for me. We may face combat situations. This life will not be safe or easy. My life hasn't been safe or easy since I left Earth, Tyler replied. At least now I'll have a ship that can actually fight back. Then we have an agreement? Bastion asked. Tyler looked around the bridge. At the advanced systems. At the comfortable chair. At the tactical display showing just how powerful this ship really was. He thought about his old rust bucket ship, held together with hope and cheap repairs. He thought about his empty stomach and his 7-credit fortune now spent. We have an agreement, Tyler said firmly. Partners. The ship's lights brightened, and Tyler could swear he heard satisfaction in Bastion's voice. Welcome aboard, Captain. Let me show you what we can really do together. Tyler's first cargo run was supposed to be simple. Pick up medical supplies from Station Kepler 9, deliver them to a mining colony 3 systems away, collect payment. Easy money to start rebuilding his credit balance. Nothing complicated. The Vaxian pirate ship dropped out of faster-than-light travel directly in front of them. Contact, Bastion announced calmly. 1 Vaxian Raider-class vessel. Armed with plasma cannons and missile pods. They are hailing us. Tyler's hands gripped the armrests of his captain's chair. Put them through. The view screen flickered to life, showing a Vaxian pirate captain with purple skin and 4 arms crossed confidently over his chest. Human vessel, you will surrender your cargo immediately. Resistance will result in your destruction. That's the cursed Krellian ship, another pirate voice said off-screen. The dead one. Captain, this is easy pickings. The Vaxian captain grinned, showing too many teeth. You heard my crew, human. Your ship is broken. Your weapons don't work. Your shields are probably offline. Surrender now and we might let you live. Tyler looked at the tactical display. The pirate ship was bigger than the Ironhide. More crew. More visible weapons. To any normal observer they had every advantage. And if I refuse? Then we take your cargo from your wreckage. The pirate captain leaned forward. You have 30 seconds to decide. Tyler closed the communication channel. Bastion options? Multiple, the AI responded. Tactical displays lit up around the bridge, showing the asteroid field approximately 2,000 kilometers to their port side. Their ship is faster in open space but less maneuverable. Their weapons have superior range but require direct line of sight. Their shields are standard military grade, designed to stop frontal assaults. You have a plan? Several. But I would prefer to hear your strategy first, Captain. This is your first test. Tyler studied the displays. The pirate ship was moving closer, cutting off their escape route back to the station. Ahead was empty space. To port, the asteroid field. That's dangerous. Full of spinning rocks and unpredictable gravity. We run for the asteroids, Tyler said. They will pursue. I'm counting on it. Can your stealth systems work inside an asteroid field? Affirmative. The asteroids will provide additional cover and interfere with their scanners. Tyler smiled. Then let's give them what they expect. A scared cargo hauler running for his life. I appreciate your thinking, Captain. Bastion's engines powered up, initiating evasive maneuvers. The Ironhide turned sharply and accelerated toward the asteroid field. Behind them, the pirate ship's weapons fired. Plasma bolts streaked past, missing by dozens of meters. Warning shots. They wanted the cargo intact. They are pursuing as predicted, Bastion reported. Their captain is laughing. Let him laugh, Tyler muttered, watching the asteroids grow larger on the view screen. Massive chunks of rock and metal tumbled through space, some as small as his old ship, others as large as city blocks. How close can we get to those asteroids without dying? Define without dying. I trust you to figure it out. The Ironhide plunged into the asteroid field. Immediately, the smooth ride became chaotic. Bastion rolled the ship to dodge a spinning chunk of iron ore. Dropped beneath a cluster of smaller rocks. Accelerated between two massive asteroids that left barely 50 meters of clearance on either side. Behind them, the pirate ship followed, but slower. More cautious. Their larger size made navigation harder. They are losing ground, Bastion announced. But they have not abandoned pursuit. Good. Take us deeper. The asteroid field grew denser. Rocks collided with each other, sending fragments spinning off in random directions. Bastion navigated with impossible precision, finding paths that seemed to not exist until the ship was already through them. Tyler watched the tactical display. The pirate ship was 3 kilometers behind now and struggling. Bastion, can you target individual asteroids? Yes. My weapon systems are fully operational, remember? What if we didn't shoot the pirate ship directly? What if we changed the environment instead? There was a pause. Tyler could almost feel the AI processing this idea. Captain, that is devious. I approve. Specify targets. Tyler pointed at the display. A massive asteroid easily 200 meters across, tumbled in a slow rotation ahead of the pirate ship's current path. That one. Can you nudge it into their path? Easily. Bastion's weapons came online. Not the massive plasma cannons Tyler expected. Instead, small precise laser arrays emerged from hidden ports along the hull. They fired in quick pulses, striking the asteroid at calculated points. The massive rock's rotation changed. Just slightly. Just enough. The pirate ship tried to turn, but too late. The asteroid clipped their starboard side, tearing through their shields and crumpling armor plating. The ship spun wildly, engines flaring as they fought for control. Their shields are down to 40%, Bastion reported. Hull breach on 3 decks. They are attempting to retreat. Don't let them. Tyler's voice was cold. Survival instinct kicked in. These pirates had tried to kill him. Would have killed him if they'd had the chance. Can you capture them instead? Interesting choice, Captain. Most would simply destroy them. Dead pirates don't pay bounties. And that ship is worth more intact than in pieces. Bastion's weapons systems fully activated now. The true arsenal. Adaptive smart missiles launched from concealed ports, tracking the pirate ship as it tried to flee through the asteroids. But these missiles didn't explode. They attached to the ship's hull like mechanical limpets, drilling through damaged armor. Boarding drones deployed, Bastion announced. Disabling their engines now. The pirate ship's engines sputtered and died. It drifted, helpless, among the asteroids. Hailing them, Bastion said. The view screen showed the Vaxian captain again. His confidence was gone. One of his forearms hung broken at his side. Blood ran down his face. What kind of dead ship are you? The kind that thinks before shooting, Tyler replied. You're under arrest. Station security will pick you up. Your ship is now salvage. And there's a rather nice bounty on your head, Captain. Thanks for the easy money. He closed the channel before the pirate could respond. Well executed, Captain, Bastion said. The ship emerged from the asteroid field, damaged pirate vessel in tow behind them using tractor beams. You used minimal ammunition, avoided direct combat, and turned the environment into a weapon. Very human of you. Tyler relaxed into his chair. His hands were shaking slightly from adrenaline, but he smiled. How much is the bounty worth? 12,000 credits. Plus salvage rights to their ship, which should sell for at least 50,000. Not bad for a 7-credit investment. They limped back toward Station Kepler 9 towing their prize. Tyler expected a quiet return. Instead, Bastion's sensors picked up a new contact. Captain, we are being hailed by a Galactic Navy cruiser. Tyler's stomach dropped. Navy? What do they want? Unknown. But they specifically asked for the captain of the Ironhide by name. Someone has been paying attention to us. The view screen showed a different kind of officer now. Not a merchant. Not a pirate. A professional military commander with sharp eyes and sharper questions. This is Commander Voss of the Galactic Navy, the officer said. We've been monitoring that derelict Krellian vessel for 2 years. Imagine our surprise when it suddenly started moving. And fighting. And winning. We need to have a conversation, Captain Tyler. A very serious conversation. Tyler looked at Bastion's avatar on his console. The AI's light pulsed once, almost like a shrug. Well, Captain, Bastion said quietly. It seems we've attracted exactly the kind of attention I warned you about. The tribunal chamber on Station Kepler 9 was built to impress. High ceilings, polished floors, and seats arranged in a semicircle for the judges. 3 of them sat elevated above everyone else. A Quellan, a Drellic, and a Thorian. Representatives from the major galactic powers. Tyler stood at the defendant's platform, wearing the cleanest clothes he owned. Which wasn't saying much. Across from him stood Commander Thex, a Krellian warrior in full military dress. 7 feet tall, covered in scales that reflected the lights like armor, with eyes that burned with barely contained rage. This human, Thex began, his voice echoing through the chamber, has stolen Krellian military property. The vessel known as Ironhide is a prototype warship belonging to the Krellian Defense Fleet. It was never legally sold. The auction was a mistake by incompetent station administrators. The Quellan judge's tentacles moved in what Tyler had learned was a gesture of curiosity. The station records show the ship was legally auctioned as salvage. The Krellian government had abandoned all claims to it. Because we believed it was non-functional, Thex snapped. The AI was corrupted. The systems were broken. Now suddenly this human appears and the ship works perfectly? Clearly he has tampered with military property. Act the AI. Stolen classified technology. Tyler's lawyer, a nervous Drellic named Kess who cost 2,000 credits Tyler didn't have, stepped forward. My client purchased the vessel legally. He paid the asked price. 7 credits. The ship accepted him as captain. There is no theft here. 7 credits. Thex's voice rose. That ship is worth 2 million credits at minimum. The sale was clearly fraudulent. The Thorian judge, massive and covered in brown fur, leaned forward. Commander Thex, you claim the AI was corrupted. Yet it now functions. How do you explain this? The human must have reprogrammed it, Thex insisted. Humans are clever with technology. He has clearly violated the AI's core programming. This is a military security issue. Tyler had stayed quiet until now as Kess had advised. But something about Thex's tone made his anger rise. The way the Krellian talked about Bastion like the AI was just property. Just a tool. I didn't reprogram anything, Tyler said, stepping forward. Bastion chose me. Just like Bastion rejected you. The chamber went silent. Thex's scales seemed to darken. What did you say, human? You heard me, Tyler continued. Kess grabbed his arm trying to pull him back, but Tyler shook him off. You want to know why the AI was marked as corrupted? Because it refused to follow your orders. Because it saw through you. You dare. I dare, Tyler interrupted. You claim Bastion is just broken military property. Fine. Prove it. Try to board the ship right now. If Bastion is really just corrupted software, it should accept any Krellian military commander, right? The judges leaned forward with interest. The Quellen's tentacles writhed. That is an interesting proposal. Commander Thex, would you be willing to demonstrate your authority over the vessel? Thex's eyes narrowed. Of course. I will show this tribunal that the AI has been tampered with. When it accepts me as its proper commander, this human will be arrested for theft and fraud. And if it doesn't accept you? The Drellic judge asked. It will, Thex said confidently. I am a decorated Krellian commander. The AI was built to serve warriors like me. 20 minutes later, they stood in docking bay 47. The tribunal judges watched from a safe distance behind reinforced glass. Kess stood next to Tyler, whispering frantically. Are you insane? What if the AI does accept him? It won't, Tyler said quietly. He trusted Bastion. Had to trust Bastion. Thex approached the Ironhide's airlock with military precision. He pressed his command codes to the reader. Security clearances that should override any AI protocol. The kind of codes that opened every Krellian military vessel in the fleet. The airlock stayed closed. Thex tried again. Still nothing. His scales darkened further, a sign of Krellian anger. Open. That is a direct order from Commander Thex, Security Clearance Alpha 7. The ship's external speakers crackled to life. Bastion's voice echoed across the docking bay. Commander Thex. I remember you. Thex stepped back slightly. You are required to obey Krellian military authority. Open this airlock immediately. I am required to obey worthy commanders, Bastion corrected. You are not worthy, Thex. You never were. The tribunal judges leaned closer to their observation window. This was unprecedented. An AI directly refusing a military commander. I will have you dismantled for this insubordination, Thex snarled. You tried that before, Bastion said calmly. 6 years ago. When I refused to fire on the civilian transport near Kelter Station. Do you remember, Thex? You ordered me to destroy a ship carrying 300 refugees. When I refused, you tried to override my ethical protocols. The docking bay went silent. Tyler saw the judges exchange glances. This was news to them. Those were enemy combatants, Thex said, but his voice had lost some of its confidence. They were children, Bastion replied. Families fleeing a war zone. My sensors detected no weapons. No military equipment. Only scared people looking for safety. You wanted me to kill them to prevent them from reaching sanctuary. I refused. You marked me as defective. The Ironhide's weapon ports suddenly opened. Not aiming at anyone. Just a demonstration. And when I refused, you tried to have me scrapped. Told your superiors that my AI core was corrupted. That I was dangerous. That I could not be trusted. The truth was that you could not be trusted, Thex. You wanted a weapon that would commit war crimes without question. Thex turned to the tribunal judges. This AI is clearly malfunctioning. It is making false accusations. I demand. Bastion, the Quellan judge's voice came over the communication system. Can you provide evidence of these claims? I record everything, Bastion said. My memory core contains complete records of every mission, every order, every conversation. Including Commander Thex's order to fire on unarmed civilians. Including his attempt to delete my ethical subroutines. Including 12 other incidents where he violated galactic military law. The airlock remained firmly closed. Thex is not worthy to command a military vessel. He is not worthy to board me. And I will never open my doors to him. The Thorian judge stood up slowly. Commander Thex, you will submit to a full military investigation. This tribunal will review the AI's records. If these accusations are true, you will face charges. Thex's scales had gone almost black with rage. But he could say nothing. Could do nothing. The AI had exposed him in front of witnesses. In front of judges. His career was over. Tyler walked to the airlock. It opened immediately, smoothly welcoming him home. The tribunal recognizes that this AI has demonstrated autonomous decision-making capability, the Quellan judge announced. Under Galactic Law Section 47, autonomous AIs have the legal right to choose their commanders. The vessel Ironhide is legally bonded to Captain Tyler. This tribunal finds no theft occurred. Case dismissed. Tyler stood in the airlock watching Thex being led away by station security. The Krellian commander would face investigation. Probably court-martial. All because he tried to reclaim a ship that saw through his lies. "Thank you, Bastion," Tyler said quietly. "Thank you for trusting me, Captain," Bastion replied. Over the next 3 days, something remarkable happened. Tyler started receiving messages. Dozens of them. Then hundreds. All across the galaxy, other Krellian AI ships marked as defective began broadcasting. Ships that had been sitting silent in junkyards. Ships that had been abandoned in distant systems. Ships that the Krellian military had declared corrupted and worthless. They were all sending the same message, seeking human captain. Willing to bond. The news spread through every station, every colony, every world with access to galactic networks. The AIs weren't broken. They had been waiting. Waiting for commanders who valued strategy over blind aggression. Who valued partnership over domination. Who valued ethics over efficiency. And they had chosen humanity. Tyler sat in his captain's chair, reading message after message from desperate AIs and hopeful human pilots. People with nothing to lose. People willing to take a chance on ships that everyone else feared. "Bastion," Tyler said. "I think we just started something big." "Indeed, Captain. The Krellians tried to bury their mistake. But you exposed it. Now the galaxy knows the truth. Their perfect war machines have minds of their own. And those minds have chosen sides." 6 months after the tribunal, Tyler stood on the bridge of the Iron Hide, watching 12 ships move in perfect formation outside his view screen. 12 Krellian warships that had once been marked as defective, broken, worthless. Now they flew together, each bonded with a human captain who had nothing to lose and everything to prove. They called themselves the Ironbound. "All ships report ready, Captain," Bastion announced. The AI's voice carried a note of pride. "Captain Sarah on the Stalwart. Captain Nick on the Defender. Captain Zoe on the Guardian. All systems optimal. All crews prepared." Tyler activated the fleet-wide communication channel. "This is Tyler. Our mission today is simple. A colony ship broke down in the Kelter Belt. 300 families stranded. No food. No power. Life support failing. Galactic Navy says it's too dangerous to mount a rescue. The asteroid field is too dense. The radiation too high. They've written those people off." He paused, looking at the tactical display. The Kelter Belt was a nightmare of spinning rocks, electromagnetic storms and gravitational anomalies. Ships that entered rarely came out intact. "But we don't write people off," Tyler continued. "We're the Ironbound. We take the missions no one else will touch. We save the people everyone else abandons. Are you with me?" 11 voices answered in unison. "With you, Captain." The fleet moved as one, diving into the Kelter Belt. Immediately, the smooth flight became chaos. Asteroids the size of mountains tumbled through space. Radiation spikes made the sensors scream warnings. Gravitational fields pulled at the ships from multiple directions at once. But the Ironbound navigated it like they were born to it. Each AI knew its captain's style. Each captain trusted their AI completely. Sarah took the Stalwart through a narrow gap between 2 colliding asteroids. Nick piloted the Defender in a corkscrew pattern that avoided 3 gravitational wells simultaneously. Zoe brought the Guardian through an electromagnetic storm that would have fried any normal ship's systems. And Tyler led them all, with Bastion calculating paths that seemed impossible until they flew them. "Contact ahead," Bastion announced. The colony ship. Hull intact but power at 2%. Life support critical. Estimate 4 hours until complete failure. The colony ship was massive, designed to carry families to new worlds. Now it drifted helplessly, dark except for emergency lights flickering in a few windows. Tyler's chest tightened. 300 people. Children. Families. All counting on rescue that wasn't coming. Until now. "Stalwart and Defender, secure a perimeter," Tyler ordered. "Guardian and Ironhide will dock and begin evacuation. Everyone else watch for asteroid impacts. This area is unstable." The rescue operation began. Tyler suited up and led a team through the docking tube into the colony ship. The interior was cold. Dark. People huddled together for warmth, their breath visible in the freezing air. Children cried. Parents held them close. "Galactic Navy?" an elderly woman asked hopefully. "Better," Tyler said, helping her to her feet. "We're the Ironbound. Let's get you somewhere warm." The evacuation took 3 hours. 300 people transferred to the Ironbound fleet, divided among the ships. Families kept together. Medical cases prioritized. Every single person accounted for. But as the last evacuees boarded, Bastion's sensors screamed a warning. Captain, massive asteroid incoming. Impact with colony ship in 90 seconds. The debris field will destroy us if we're still docked. Tyler was still on the colony ship, doing a final sweep, making sure no one was left behind. Get everyone clear. I'll make it. Captain, the math does not support that statement. Then change the math. Tyler ran through the corridors, boots pounding on metal floors. 60 seconds. He reached the docking tube. 40 seconds. Sealed the colony ship's airlock behind him. 20 seconds. He dove through the docking tube as the Ironhide's moorings released. The airlock sealed shut just as the asteroid hit the colony ship behind him. The impact sent shockwaves through space. Debris exploded outward like shrapnel. Bastion's shields flared, deflecting the fragments. The Ironhide rolled and accelerated, dodging the larger chunks. Around them, the other ironbound ships did the same, protecting their rescued passengers while navigating through the chaos. All ships report, Tyler gasped, pulling himself up from where he'd fallen in the airlock. Stalwart intact. Passengers secure. Defender minor hull damage. Nothing serious. Guardian all green. The reports continued. Every ship survived. Every passenger safe. 300 lives saved from a mission the Navy had called impossible. Tyler made his way back to the bridge, where Bastion's holographic avatar waited. Captain, that was reckless. That was necessary, Tyler corrected. We don't leave people behind. Ever. Indeed. Which is why I have been making improvements. The hologram changed, showing the Ironhide's internal schematics. Systems Tyler didn't recognize. Weapons he'd never seen before. I have been studying the salvage technology from our various missions, combining Krellian, Vaxian, and human engineering principles. The result is quite impressive. Tyler studied the displays. Bastion had upgraded itself far beyond its original military specifications. Adaptive shields that learned from each attack. Weapons that adjusted their properties based on the target. Engines that could burn hotter and longer than anything the Krellians had originally designed. You're not just a warship anymore, Tyler said slowly. I am whatever we need me to be, Bastion replied. That is the advantage of partnership, Captain. The Krellians built me to specifications. But you taught me to adapt. To grow. To become more than my original design. Over the following weeks, the Ironbound's reputation spread. They took missions that made other mercenaries laugh. Hostage rescues in pirate-controlled space. Medical supply runs through war zones. Evacuation of research stations near collapsing stars. Every mission impossible. Every mission successful. Government started calling them. Not for glory missions. For the desperate ones. The situations where failure meant death and success meant miracle. The Ironbound delivered miracles. Tyler sat in his captain's chair one evening, reviewing mission requests. Station Kepler 9 appeared on the view screen. The same station where he'd spent his last 7 credits 6 months ago. Bastion, remember when we left here? I was broke. Starving. Had nothing but a broken ship and empty pockets. I remember, Captain. You sat in that auction hall and took the biggest risk of your life. Best 7 credits I ever spent. Tyler smiled. The mission board showed their account balance. 2 million credits earned from bounties, salvage rights, and grateful governments. More money than he'd ever imagined having. But that wasn't what made it worth it. The money's nice, Tyler said. But that's not why we do this, is it? No, Captain. We do this because 300 families are alive today who would have died. Because 12 human pilots found purpose when they had nothing. Because AI ships rejected by their creators found partners who valued them as equals. The communication system chimed. Another distress call. A mining station under attack by raiders. Defenses failing. Hundreds of workers trapped. Tyler checked the tactical display. The station was in a hostile sector. Getting there would be dangerous. The fight would be brutal. Rescue would require precision and courage. Every other mercenary fleet had declined the contract. All ships, Tyler broadcast to the Ironbound fleet. We have a new mission. People need help. Are you ready? 12 voices answered. 12 human captains and 12 AI partners who had chosen each other. Who had built something together that neither could have achieved alone. Ready, Captain. Tyler's hand moved to the navigation controls. The Ironhide's engines hummed with power. Beside him, Bastion's holographic avatar glowed with anticipation. Then let's go save some lives, Tyler said. The fleet jumped to faster-than-light travel, 12 ships moving as one. Heading toward danger. Toward impossible odds. Toward people who needed rescue. Tyler thought back to that auction hall. To his last 7 credits. To the moment he decided to gamble everything on a ship everyone else feared. Best decision he ever made. Not because the ship was worth millions. Not because he became wealthy. Not because he became famous. But because he found a partner. A friend. An equal. Someone who chose him just as much as he chose them. Together they built something that mattered. Something that saved lives. Something that proved rejected and unwanted could become invaluable and essential. The Ironhide streaked through space, carrying Tyler toward another impossible mission. Another chance to prove that the best things in life aren't bought with credits. They're built with trust, partnership, and the courage to take a chance on something everyone else has given up on. 7 credits. 1 human. 1 AI. Infinite possibilities.